My name's Chris Holdaway. I'm from Vienna, Virginia. It's close to Washington, D.C. And I'm the oldest of three boys, two younger brothers, my mom and dad, and then the dog, Toby. So we're a small family, but pretty tight.
And so you served a full-time mission here in Latvia.
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was that?
So I served 4 years ago. So I served June 2010 to July 2012.
Mm-hmm. Can you remember the time when you made a decision to serve a mission? How did that happen?
I think I always kind of wanted to. It was just kind of a goal growing up that, yeah, I wanted to serve a mission, but my senior year of high school, so when I was about 17 or 18, it kind of came down to, all right, am I going to start making the preparations? Am I going to start working on a passport and those kinds of things, or am I going to put that dream off? And it took a good little while to kind of decide if that's really what I wanted to do, and I made the decision that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to serve a mission, and then from then on it was just a whirlwind of preparing, but probably about 17 or 18 that I kind of made the decision that, yeah, I wanted to serve.
Okay. When you put the papers in, did you have any guesses where you would serve, or any specific place you wanted to go?
I spoke French growing up, so I wanted to go to Paris or Lyon or somewhere in France, but I think it's always wherever you want to go, you always get sent somewhere better. So I was hoping somewhere in Europe. Really like Europe, so I was happy.
Yeah, that's great. What was the experience like when you opened the mission call?
So I opened my call at university, and I had my parents on Skype, and so I had the call sent to me, and so I had some friends around, and so I read it, and my family started freaking out, and they all started cheering, and I had probably 5 or 6 phones to cousins or aunts and uncles and people as well, so it was really fun. We made a little party out of it, so it was great.
Did you know where Latvia is when you read the name?
I knew it was in Europe. I had no idea where it was. I had a friend congratulate me on going to Africa, so I don't think any of us knew exactly where it was, but I got on Google and said, oh, okay, cool. So started looking up all these weird facts about Latvia. So
okay, great. How was your experience at the missionary training center?
It was good. It was an adjustment. You're set apart, and that's your job, that's your life. And so going from playing sports and listening to music and playing instruments and hanging out with friends to more spiritual things, it definitely takes an adjustment. The teacher spoke Latvian to me my first day, and I just kind of sat there thinking, what did I just get myself into? This is not going to go well. So, but it was a great experience.
Who were your teachers?
So I had Sister Prittis and Elder Newman. So Sister Prittis, when she served here, she was Sister Belknap, was her name, and then she got married. So my trainer was Elder Paul Powell, and from Idaho, and he was a lot of fun to be with. It was a really fun transfer.
How was the first few weeks or few months in the mission? What was it like?
It was hard. It was really hard. Elder Powell was really good about pushing me to always be better and to work on my Latvian. So he would call people and then throw me the phone, and then he'd run in the other room and lock himself in. So suddenly I had to talk to someone on the phone, and he made me do a lot of teaching, a lot of contacting, and we were definitely a pair. He wasn't going to lead me and kind of baby me. We were definitely 50-50 partners in it. So it was hard. It was hard to feel like he didn't understand anything, but there's some really cool miracles and experiences in that first transfer. So.
How would you describe your mission experience?
I mean, it was challenging, for sure. There's some culture shock. Also, being a missionary, regardless of where you are, it's difficult. But the highs always outweighed the lows. But no matter how tough it was, or how wet we were, how cold it was, or in Liepaja how windy it was,
Yes.
as I'm sure you know, there was always miracles, or always things that made it worthwhile. So it was challenging, but it was also very rewarding.
What are some things from the culture shock that you mentioned? What were those for you personally?
I mean, I guess a funny story, my first day, my companion and I, Elder Powell, we went out running, and then I sat down to kind of stretch after my run, and I guess you're not supposed to sit on the concrete or something, and so a lady, my first day, started yelling at me to not sit on the concrete, and I didn't know what she was telling me or anything, and but I mean, it's fun, like little things of, in America, if you ask someone how they're doing, it's, hey, how are you? Good, good, okay, good, you know, and then you leave. But in Latvian, if you ask someone how they're doing, they'll tell you how they're doing, and it's not just a, oh, I'm fine. It's a whole paragraph on their day. So, it's fun little quirks like that were kind of fun. I mean, getting around without a car. In the States, everyone drives cars, so here taking public transportation was fun. Kind of learning the bus schedule and stuff like that. So
cool. What were some major events of your mission that you can recall?
Oh man, I mean there were so many miracles and cool things kind of along the way. One of the highlights was we had now Elder Stevenson. He was the presiding bishop at the time, and he came to the mission. He spoke to all of us, and I had the opportunity to translate for him, and it was a really cool experience to see just his love for all of us and for all the members here, and we had some members of the 70 come who, again, this was their first or second time here, but you could just feel the love and feel their testimony, and it was just really cool to see that the church, it truly is a global thing, that even here in this corner of the vineyard, we had some people who cared about us and things like that. So, and then of course, just meeting all the members. I mean, I feel like each of those relationships is a big thing. It was almost like a big experience. So.
You already mentioned some. Can you remember or recall any other fun experiences that you had with members or with people that you were meeting?
Yeah, I remember when I served in Liepaja down on the coast, for one preparation day we had some members, we all rented bikes, and we had some members take us around on a bike tour and showed us the city, and it was cool. We got to see, as missionaries, we have a set schedule and kind of set goals and things like that, so we don't get to see the beach very often or go see some of the cultural things because we're always working and trying to do service. So it was fun to go down and see the war forts and the harbor down in Liepaja, things like that. We took a train, some companions and I, we took a train out to Tukums. It was a long train ride way out into the country, but that was some of the most beautiful scenery I'd ever seen. Just, it was fall, and so all the colors and everything were on the train, and that was a really kind of memorable experience. I got a lot of pictures on the train, so it was fun.
Cool. Now it's been 4 years since you served, and what have you been doing these 4 years after the mission?
Yeah, well, so I finished university at Brigham Young University out in Provo, Utah. And so that was a great experience. I loved being around other missionaries who had served in the Baltics. They share my love of chocolate muesli and Lima chocolate bars and things like that.
What did you study?
So I studied event management in the business school. Cool. So it was a good major for me. I really enjoyed it. I was thinking about linguistics, but you can't study Latvian at BYU, so.
Not yet.
Not yet, yeah. Maybe I'll be the first teacher.
Yeah.
So. I also had the opportunity to volunteer and teach at the Missionary Training Center, the missionary school, and I had the opportunity to train some of the missionaries who are serving right now, and so it was fun to see them at church and see how much their language has progressed, and now they understand what I'm saying, so that's always fun. And then I also had the opportunity to do some translation and interpreting for the church on various broadcasts or in some of the animated short films that they did. So the Lord's really blessed me with opportunities to be around Latvian culture. It's been really fun. So.
Cool. What are your plans for the future, for the next 4 years?
Yeah, hopefully come back to Latvia. So, I'm taking a job in Washington, D.C. at a hotel, and I'll just be doing kind of some room operations and things like that. And then I've applied to a master's program, an MBA, a Master's Business Administration. So I'll probably go in the next 2 or 3 years and start grad school. And I'd like to do something in human resources. I think working with people and kind of, I can't sit at a desk my whole life, so being out and doing something like that would be fun. So, I mean, we'll see. I think the Lord has a much better plan for me than what I can think of, so I'm just here for the ride. Nu es zinu, ka tik tiešām Jēzus Kristus ir mūsu glābējs un pestītājs. Zinu, ka šīs evaņģēlijas ir tieši no Dieva, un kā lasot Mormonu grāmatā, mēs varam saprast un mācīties vairāk par Dievu un par viņa plānu priekš mums. Es zinu, ka Joseph Smits bija pravietis, un ar viņu un, protams, no Dieva mums ir patiesība mūsu dienas. Un mēs varam zināt tieši, kas mums ir jādara, lai atgrieztos pie Dieva. Es mīlu Latviju, es mīlu latviešus, un esmu bezgalīgi pateicīgs par savu laiku te. Es to saku Jēzus Kristus vārdā. Amen.